Cool. All right. Hey there, gang. Patrick King here with my friend Karen Rohlf. We were just en route from one clinic to the next and decided to pop in for a visit. I'm so glad. Thank you, Karen, for making the time to visit with us and show us your horses. That was so great to get the chance to visit with them.
I was really happy to see your message come through, especially this year. Don't get many visitors around here. So, and it was an open day and just such a treat to be able to play with a fellow horseman and
Well,
get to show off my cute horses.
Yeah. Likewise, it was so great because so much, I'm sure you go through the same thing. So much of the time we're on the road, teaching clinics, doing whatever. We don't get the chance to visit very much, right? And I know that's, for those of you out there watching that have listened to many of my podcasts and things like that, that's why I started the podcast, was so that we could get the chance to visit with friends and catch up and that sort of stuff. And we've done 2 different podcasts, I think, together. And this is the first time actually meeting in person too. Yeah. So it's great that we've been able to do that, and one of the things that I would love to chat about, Karen, for everybody out there watching who may be a professional in the industry, is the new program that you've got coming up. Or I guess it's not new, right? For you. You've done this a few times.
Yeah.
But a great program you have coming up, the Transform Your Business program, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I never imagined I'd be teaching a business seminar. But for me, it was looking at the life that horses have and kind of stepping back and realizing that such a big part of horses having a happy life in this world is that the professionals are happy and not living stressed out, burned out, exhausted,
I don't know anything about that.
The cartoon of the cranky horse trainer. And
right.
And knowing also that some of the most heart-centered horse-first professionals are also very humble and not good at marketing, and and I want those people to thrive. So this is not a get rich quick and make a lot of money. This is about really owning your value and helping you bring your value to the world, and to set up your business and your life so that it's fulfilling, sustainable, and profitable. Right?
Okay.
Because I once actually was so burned out that I thought I was going to quit horses.
Yeah.
And that's not fun.
Yeah. And I feel like, and I know I'll speak for myself with this, I feel like a lot of trainers, a lot of professionals, at one point or another, we kind of go through that, right? The burnout is a real thing.
It is. And, and so much of it is dependent on a one-on-one business model, or maybe we do some clinics, but most horse people are trying to do everything themselves, right? We don't think of ourselves as business people. I don't think of myself as business people, but once you're burned out, you got to figure some things out.
Right.
And so the years that it took me to figure some things out, to be able to have the life that I have now, which has, I deliver tons of value to people all over the world. And I also have more time than ever to play with my own horses, and to be able to say, Patrick says, I'm stopping by. I'm like, yes, stop by, so that I stay fulfilled, right? I stay fueled as a person, while still increasing the number of people that I teach and having, a living.
There you go. And that would give you then the opportunity to spend that time to invest back into yourself too, right? To work on your progress also, instead of, I hate to say, just watching everyone else progress, but it's not that watching everyone else progress, but there is kind of that little bit of stagnation that I think as a professional we have to be careful with also.
Exactly, and that's one of the reasons, when you just sent that text, I'm like, yes! And I'm out there like a little kid, show me, Patrick, show me. Oh, man. Our generator comes on at 2 o'clock on Thursdays.
Well, then we know what time it is.
I'm sorry about that. It'll stop soon. It's so funny. Yeah, it's
the beauty of live.
Yeah, but it is I'm lit up. Just to have you come by, show me some new things with my horses. Because as professionals we give. Yes. And you've got to find ways to fuel yourself.
Yeah. So, if you don't mind, tell us maybe a little bit more about your program. Who specifically do you feel like this is tailored to? And maybe I'll say it for some of the professionals out there watching, because I know when I see programs like this, I kind of have this thought, how am I going to find the time to do this? How am I going to find the time to completely change things?
Yeah.
Because I'm already burning the candle at both ends,
exactly.
Right? So how do we
and that's the paradox, is the people who need this the most are going to say
can't take the time. Yeah.
So, and actually the act of signing up and deciding is one of the biggest pieces. So we've had people that say, you know, I just trusted you, and I bought the ticket, and now that I know I'm doing it, I can already feel possibility.
Yeah.
So, and plus I have a bonus training that you get also, that's how to make more time for yourself. So
that would
when
be
you
a
sign
nice
up,
thing.
you get
That'd
that
be worth
training.
the ticket price right there.
Yeah, and at the event, I bring in a guest speaker who's an expert in time management and productivity.
Okay.
So that element is folded in to the program, which is amazing. And one of the things we highlight is leverage, how to leverage your business.
Okay.
So, you know, it's an investment, right? Sometimes when you first start to invest money, you don't have, you know, any money. You go, okay, I only got $20, I'm going to put it in the bank. Well, you know, it's just 2 days.
There you go.
And it's not even the whole day. So all it takes is a decision to say, yes, now is the time, I want to get some help. And what I say is, you know, buy the ticket, show up, and then let the magic happen. The rest is in my hands. All the pressure's on me. All you have to do is get the ticket, show up, and we've got what you need to get the ball rolling.
Perfect. And now in the past, I know this was a live in-person event down here in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And now, because of the new pandemic actually allowing us to learn what we can do without being live, right? So the tiny blessings, tiny silver linings in there.
Definitely a blessing.
So now it's online.
Yep.
Right?
It's still live.
Okay.
It's still live, you know, interactive. This is, you know, I could just hand you a bunch of recordings, and you know, maybe
and they're not
sometime
going to get watched.
you're not
right?
going to get watched.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's live in person, but we've got people from Hong Kong, New Zealand, you know, all over the world are going to be attending this because, you know, like I said, usually you have to travel to Florida.
Right.
And take a week.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So this is the opportunity. Is like this time it's virtual, and so I'm just encouraging everybody to just jump on it because I don't know if it'll ever be easier. It's
sure.
never gonna, you know, it's the least expensive and easiest way to attend than it's ever been.
Absolutely.
No plane travel, no hotel, no, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, do you feel like this program is more for riding instructors, horse trainers? Where do you feel like you fit?
All of the above. So, instructors, trainers. We've had body workers, people who run facilities. You know, facility owners, people who run kids camps. So really a wide range. We've even had some dog trainers in there. So it applies to, you know, it applies outside the horse world too. We've had people who are just starting out in their business and they're being really smart and thinking, why don't I avoid some of the...
Oh, sure.
Look at those old cranky trainers. Like maybe I should change something. And then, you know, really the whole range from I'm kind of doing my business, but I can see where it's heading and I need some new ideas, to I've done this for 30 years. My husband's going to divorce me. I've not ridden my horses in 6 months.
Right.
And like something's got to give.
Right.
We've had people that, you know, trainers that I know that they're really amazing instructors and trainers. And when this first came out, she's like, I was online at Starbucks because I couldn't keep this up. I needed more money, and it was killing me.
Yeah.
I said, don't fill in that application at Starbucks. Come to this. And now, you know, she really has transformed. Now she's taken vacation days. You know, we've had some really, really big progress from people who've attended.
That's great. And
so
now you've
exciting.
done this enough, you've got kind of the success stories, right, behind that. So that's great.
And we've had everything from, you know, a 26-year-old who was already burned out. She was so talented and popular a trainer. And then we've had a woman who is 70 years old when she came to the program, and she had really eclectic background, dressage trainer, but some clicker training, and some had studied with like a Zen master, and you know, she was just trying to like teach, and she was burned out and had insomnia, and through what we opened up in her, she like now has spoken at international animal behavior things. She's created a whole online course around mindfulness and using positive reinforcement with dressage training. Right? Like crazy cool. And she's like, she's my inspiration because like at 70 she just turned everything around, and she's healthier and happier than she's ever been. So it's never too late, and it's never too soon to start, and it's never too late.
Right. That's perfect. I know I had a question.
And you can find out about it.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. So where do we?
We're not going to tell you now.
Tell us, Karen. Where do we find out more?
So if you go to dressagenaturally.net/professionals, you'll see it on that page. And it's February 16th and 17th, so you gotta like kind of get a move on it. But yeah, dressagenaturally.net/professionals. dressage.net/professionals.
Perfect. And I'll make sure that we put a link in the description of the video as well as in the comments of the video below here. So, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Karen. It looks like, I've just got the chance to read through the site, kind of briefly, and it looks like a really great program.
It's
so
super
that's
fun.
So
I'm
awesome.
really excited about it. I get excited every year because I get to just sit in the audience and watch people's faces just go like,
Oh, that's awesome.
There's hope. So,
well, like you said, it's never too soon to start with something like that. And you mentioned, the idea of not being, being maybe too humble, not wanting to do the marketing side of things, or not knowing where to go, right? I probably speak for a lot of professionals out there in the equine industry, at least, in that we don't get into a horse business thinking we're going to have a business. We do it because we love the horses, right?
Exactly.
And I hear so many people that want to be horse trainers, and they say, I want to be horse trainers because I don't like people. Well, that won't work, right?
No.
Because you do deal with a
Horses
lot
don't
of people
write the
when you.
checks.
Yeah, every horse has got an owner somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But to have that business skill, because I know for me, I've been in this business for 20 some years now, and it's taken these 20 some years now to get to where I feel like I know a little bit about my own business even. It's the skills that we don't get first, that we probably should get first. It's like, just because you're good at clipping poodles doesn't mean you should have a poodle clipping business, right? It's very much the same with our horses. So.
Yeah, and just to know that there's some things you're going to need to know so that you can stay focused on your area of expertise, which is out there with the horses.
Yeah.
And there's just people get bogged down. There's a danger to loving what you do because you can overdo it easily, happily. So the people who often come to the seminar, I do fill out a survey, and they're like, how profitable is your business? Not profitable. How sustainable? Not sustainable at all. How fulfilled do you feel? I feel great. I'm like, wait, you should. You shouldn't. Because when you love what you do, you don't notice.
That's it.
And you're like, but it's horses. And I talked to someone, and like, well, what stress? What other problems in your life is this causing you? Oh no, it's no problem at all. And I dug a little bit more, and she's like, oh, well, my husband's about ready to divorce me because I'm just miserable and cranky all the time. Like,
that doesn't sound like
it takes a minute, to remember when you're a giving person, you give to your horses, you give to your students. But if, it's like on an airplane, you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself. So you've got to get the skills that you need so that you can figure out how to run this business in a way that keeps you fueled and keeps you with some space in your life. And horses need time.
Yes.
And you notice, Patrick, that my facility here is not a row of box stalls and tiny paddocks, right? And that's by design. I realize that the way I run my business is what's enabled me to have this property not built on a factory training model, but built on, I want my horses to live like this. How do I have to work my business so that my horses can and I can live like this?
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's where, for me, the passion is. I want horses to have trainers that have space and that are arriving to their horses at their best self and not having given everything and laid it on the floor to everybody else, and now
kept nothing for themselves.
Kept nothing for themselves because it's not sustainable.
Right.
You got to something's going to give at some point.
Yeah. Sure. Awesome. Okay, so again, tell us where our professionals out there or anybody interested can find more information on your program.
DressageNaturally.net/professionals, and it's February 16 and 17. And any questions, you can email us from the website.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karen, and thanks, gang, for